Hey folks, Rob here bringing another video. This is going to be a short one and it's going to deal with VASL log files. Now a log file is quite simply some device that VASL uses to log, as the name says, your data. So every time you punch these dice numbers, anytime you type anything in here for record and logs and such, it's going to record everything you say. And when you hit end log file, it's going to save it as a file. It's going to record all your moves as well, so that when you give this file to somebody else, they're going to be able to step through all your moves, all your die rolls, and all your text to figure out what the heck you're doing. So this is a good way to, this is how you play by email, or if you're playing in our group solitaire event, for example, and your commanding officer needs to know your log files, this is what you would send him so he can zip through it and do what he has to do in that capacity. And what we found is that a lot of people don't necessarily know how to use these to the best of their ability, and that's why I'm making this video. One of the first things we're going to do, though, before we get into that, is we're going to check out preferences. So when you open up your preferences, check, the first thing is your password. Now, most people use passwords in there, you should, but the problem is with VASL and concealment counters. Like right now, we've got 3 stacks here that are concealed, and I have a password on. Just QWERTY, just for nice and simple, right? So if I go start my log file, and I start recording, and I start moving my guys. Let's say we assault move this guy here. This guy we want to send forward to bust some concealment. We activate this guy. Holy shit, we rolled a 1. That's a good sign. We roll a 7 on the table, which is nothing, but we're going to make it something. Let's see what we get. 6 is a squad and a fortification. So what kind of squad are we looking at? That's a 458 Russian. This is all from my Slaughter Upon Solitaire rules. So put that aside. This guy's going to shoot him with a 4 flat because the -1 on assault and the light grain are going to cancel each other. On the IFT we got a 6 as an NMC, and of course he breaks. Alright, so then we go whatever, end of the day, your turn is done, you want to save your file, so you're going to go File and Log File. And you can see everything from where it says logging begun right here to log file written. Everything in between is going to be recorded. So now when you send this file to your friend and he opens it up, there's going to be a problem. I'm sure you've already realized this if you've done this before. We're going to load up the log file, and the problem is when we look at our preferences and he does not have your password, that I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but in these concealment counters you now have nothing but stacks. Alright, so this is where passwords come into play, and they mess around with concealment stacks. So if you want to see what's in those concealment stacks, you have to put your password back in. So again, if you look at the 3 stacks, when I type this in, go OK, you're going to see them change back to their contents. Alright, so if you have a password protected game and you're playing along, saving your log file, then you send the log file to a friend, they're not going to be able to see your counters. All they're going to see is you moving a stack of concealment counters. Right, so that's going to be the biggest thing to remember. Obviously, it's not going to be very useful, and it's very difficult to get out of showing that. How to recover a game that you've done this to, I'm not aware of, short of replaying it. What you could do is, if you have the recording software, is you could load up your game, get rid of the password, record your video, and do it that way, but that's a long and involved way, and you need recording software and all that. So how do you overcome the fact that you forgot to take off your password? I'm not 100% on that. So I just wanted to point that out. When it comes to, if you know you're going to be sharing log files with other people, just bear in mind, and sometimes you may want to keep your password, because if you're playing an opponent face to face, you don't want them to see what's in your concealed stacks. You want a password. Just be aware that if you have a password, your opponent or whoever you send your file to will not be able to see what's underneath it. Okay, so if you're doing a solitaire cooperative like we are, you will need to make sure that this is not there. Now, once you take it off and you're going to then go back to playing other people, make sure you put it back on. Right, so it's a bit of a ramble there, but remember passwords and how they play into log files. All right, so in our brief little example, we created a log file. And right now we've loaded it up. So how do we use a log file? If you look up the top left of your toolbar here, you can see this play sign. If you click that, you can see right below it is a tooltip. You step forward to the log page down. So if you click it the one time, and then if you hit the page down button, you're going to see the counters moving exactly the way I did. You can see my dice rolls are showing up now in the log screen, and all the other results as well. And eventually you're going to reach the end of the log file, and it's going to say start a new one. Right, so once you reach the end of your log file, you have the option of starting a new log file. If this is a new day and you got this file back from your friend and you're ready to start your next turn, you can go yes if you want to create a new log file. No, if you're done, you shut her down for the day. If you go yes, you're going to get prompted for a new one. So obviously you're going to have to rename it. So this would be, say, turn 2. Enemy turn 2, friendly turn 2, whatever, German turn 2. And now you can do your next moves on your side. Let's move this guy over here. Again, he's unconcealed. We want to bust some more concealment. Do an activation check on this guy. Once more, he's activated. A 4 is a squad, support weapon, and a leader. So squad, support weapon, and a leader. So that's going to be a 527. Uh, 527, a 7 is no support weapon, and a 3 is going to be a 9-2. That's going to hurt. Alright, so we're going to be firing on these guys here. This is going to be a +1 with a -1 cancel, so it's going to be on the 2 table with a -2. So 7 on the 2, we escaped. Now we can continue moving. Again, we could end this log file here, and we're done. We think we're great. Now the problem, of course, is that we have now 2 log files, and they both take up space. This one here we'll call turn 1, and then we have turn 2. Turn 2 is just going to be that little bit that we did. So let's close this game here. We open up turn 2. It's only going to consist of that little bit that we did. Now, that's not the best use and the most efficient use of log files. All you'll see here when we move through our counter, there's our squad. That's our activation roll. We determine what we're going to get, and we take our shot. Nothing else happened, and we reach the end of our log file. Right, so now we have 2 log files, and now again our day ends. Whatever reason, we have a lot of interruptions. We can't end it now. We have to go and do another log file and so forth. So at the end of the day, you have a shitload of log files, or more specifically, you want to have, I'll show you. You want to have these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 log files, all from one company in our group solitaire ASL game, which could all be condensed into one file. So we ask, how do we do that? So before we do anything, let's back all these guys up. Get rid of our Russians, our suspects back, and we'll start with a brand spanking new game. Alright, so as before, first thing we're going to do, we know we're going to play, in this particular case, group solitaire. And now really this video is more or less, I'm going to dedicate this to the 17 guys we have playing group solitaire. 17 guys are playing a cooperative game where we're combining 17 individual games of solitaire ASL into a group collective. Phenomenal. Love it. But anybody else in the same boat using VASL log files, you may also benefit from this. For our purposes, we don't want passwords because we're going to pass these files on to the commanding officers of the battalions who are going to have to review them and do certain functions with them. So the first thing we want to do is go to our preferences. We want to make sure our passwords are off. Remember, you can always put them back on if you go back to playing face-to-face on VASL. Or if you're playing play by email with friends. Remember, you can always put your passwords back. But for our purposes, we want them gone. All right, next thing we do is we want to create a log file. Let's go one company, 1 BN, 194th. All right, and so we're going to start logging, and we can see that login has begun, and we can start our moves. Oh, you can see what already happened here. Okay, so I'll use this as an example, by the way. Because I had concealment on and I took the password off, I can no longer see these guys and go, shit, I'm screwed, I got to start from scratch. No, you don't. Never fear. Remember, you can always put your password back if you remember it, of course. All you have to do is turn the password back on. You'll see these guys take back their counter form. Then all you have to do is come in here and delete the conceal counter. Make sure the little question mark is gone from the corner as well. Sometimes it hovers around there. You just want to make sure that that's gone as well. All right, so go through your entire OB with the password on. And you should be able to then see all your guys again. All right, so we've done that. Now we got rid of the concealment. Now we go back to preferences again and turn off our password. Right, and you can see we now can see our guys again. They have not disappeared. Now, if you want to put your conceal back on, it's perfectly fine. All right, so we're logging. We have our guys concealed. We're going to start moving on. Let's move this guy first on assault movement. Let's move him to here. And this guy here is going to roll for activation. He rolled a 1. We rolled a 9. Should be a squad. Squad, support weapon, and fortification. So we have a squad, support weapon, and fortified. Support weapon 7 is nothing. A 10 is going to be a 527. See right here. And that's it. So we're just going to have a 527 in that location. All right. Oop, not that guy, this guy. You can take his measly 2 flat shot. And he misses horribly. Okay, as before, we want to end the game for whatever reason. We don't have enough time to finish, so we're going to end the log file. You can save your game if you so choose. It doesn't matter because when we go to load up the next game again, we're going to be using a log file. But for convenience sake, you may want to save this as the next thing. So let's call this end GE turn 1. This is just for your own benefit. This is not something that you may want to send to your opponent. This is just for you if you want to open something else up. All right, now it's a brand new day. You're ready to carry on with what you're doing. This is where you deviate from the plan that we did before. You go to Tools, and we have two functions here. You have, well, three actually. You have a load a continuation, load log and fast forward, or you have load log, fast forward, and append. This is the one that you want to use. You want to use load log, fast forward, and append. All right, so you load the log that we want to use, and we did this log right here. Remember, we gave it the fancy name. These logs here are old ones. Let's get rid of them so we don't confuse ourselves. And this is the one that we want. All right, so it loads the game up. It comes right to the end. Append commencing, start a new log file. Let's go yes. We'll call it the same. We'll go turn 2. Alrighty, and we're ready to carry on from where we were before. And you can see right here in the log screen exactly what just happened. So this log is basically fast forwarded to the end of the previous log. The new log is being written from this point forward, but it's also going to retain everything that happened before it. Okay, so in this case, it's the new day. We're still doing the movement phase. Let's move this guy on here. Again, we want to bust concealment, so let's not use assault movement. This guy now is going to activate. He's going to be a 6, which should be a squad. Squad's going to be a 4-4-7. This guy might be a bit luckier. 4 flat. Nope. He sucks too. All right, and then again, for whatever reason, we have to go. Let's move a couple more pieces. Let's say these guys are retreating for whatever reason, just so we have some movement in the record. Right, and we're going to end the game here again in the log file. All right, so you can see we now have 2 log files, the 94th and the 94th turn 2. So if we close this game, let's save this as the GE turn 2. We'll close off VASL. We're going to click on our turn 2 vlog. All right, let's move our boxes around. And you can see that we're at the beginning. So if I go fast forward, click it once there, and then I just hit the page down key, you can see everything is moving eventually the way it's gonna. This is the first log. Now you can see here comes a second log, and we're going away. And all we have is the 1 log file. We've reached the end of it, and we'll be prompted to start a new one. So just remember, you can do this. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. There usually is. If you want to have a single file, what you have to do is you have to use the load log, fast forward, and append feature. All right. So again, the process: load up your game. 1. 2, make sure that your personal password is gone, because you will not be able to see anything that is concealed or HIP. Alright, so you must make sure your personal password is not in this box. Once you're ready to play, you start logging, and it will start recording everything that you do. Save your log file at the end. When you're ready to continue your turn, again, this is directed at solitaire, but you could quickly modify this for face-to-face VASL play. When you're ready to continue, you have 2 options. You can just create a second log file by going begin log file, or you can use this bottom load log, fast forward and append, and you can continue creating 1 larger log file. You notice the file size, it's about 10,000 bytes bigger. so it's going to increase in size. So rather than turning in this case, we had, what, 4 files, you could just turn in 1. All right. And that's a quick little blurb on log files. Hopefully I found this some use. Those guys that are participating in the Group Solitaire event, just remember this when you're turning these files in. 1 file would be nice. If you have 1 file, there's zero need to zip it. All you need to do for zipping is I want to see your AAR, that fillable PDF, and I want to see your log file zipped up. So you need 2 things zipped up. There's no point zipping up 1 file. It doesn't do anything. All right, so just for convenience sake, I'll zip up a PDF of your AAR as well as your log file. Your 1 log file, which hopefully it might be too late in the game now because most of you guys are already done, but for mission 2, PDF fillable as well as your 1 log file that has been appended with all your moves on it. All right, guys. Yeah, have a great day, and we'll see you guys next video. Bye-bye.